This video is for your drama and theater PowerPoint. This is to review important terms that we are going to use when we start reading The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street on Tuesday. Okay, so let's get started. All right. So drama. What is a drama? Drama is prose or verse telling a story that's intended for representation by actors through dialogue or action. It's a play. So a drama is when you have actors and actresses performing using dialogue, so conversation and action, and it's intended for an audience to view. Let's look at the term the play. So a playwright is the person who writes the play. The script is the printed copy of a play, so I'm sure that most of you have been in a play before, probably in elementary school, and the script is what a novel would be. So this is what gives the dialogue, the directions, it's what you're reading from. And then you have the act. This is going to be the major section of a play, so think of it in terms of it's like a chapter in a book. But it can be broken down even into much smaller chunks. These are called scenes. So these are small sections or portions of a play. Let's look at the people that we meet in a play. So you have the actor, who is a male performer. The actress is the female performer. The cast is going to be all of the performers that are in the play. And then the director, of course, instructs the actors on how to portray their characters. The theater, this is the building where the play is performed, and it has a stage and then a seating area for the audience. So let's look at the areas of the stage. So you have what's called the backstage. This is the area that's behind the scenery. It's not visible to the audience. This is where they keep the props or where the actors and actresses wait until it's their turn to go on stage. You have center stage, which is the middle of the stage. It's the center of it. Downstage, now this is where it gets a little confusing. When you hear the word downstage, you would think that it would be further back on the stage, but this is actually the area that's closest to the audience. So think of it in terms of it's the edge of the stage. And then you have stage left and right. This is going to be the area to the actors left or right when they face the audience. Okay, you have upstage. This is the area furthest away from the audience. You have your backdrop, that's the painted curtain. Your flats are canvas-covered wooden frames used for scenery. And then your set is all of the sets and props that help define the action. Okay, let's look at this. This is a stage. Okay, you can see, excuse me. Here is the center. Here's backstage. You cannot see this from the audience. Can't see it. Downstage, this is the area closest to the audience right here. Upstage is the area furthest back. And then stage left, stage right. And this looks silly because when we're looking at it as the audience member, this looks like the left and this looks like the right. But you have to think of it in terms of from the performer's point of view. If your performer is here, facing the audience, then this is their left and this is their right. Here's the audience. Look at stage directions. Stage directions are the directions that are in the script that tell the actors and actresses how they need to perform. So you have what's called a cue. This is something that precedes the next action. A cue is what tells the actor or the actress what to do next. You have the cut. Cut means to stop the action, and then exit means leave the stage. So elements of drama. You have the plot, that's the main storyline, that's what's happening in the story. You have the theme, the basic idea of the play. The theme is what the playwright wants you to learn about the story. So it is a universal truth. It has to be stated in a complete sentence. It can't be just one word. So your topic might be fear, but your theme could be Fear does not need to overcome you. You have your characters. These are the people, animal, or things in the story. Okay. Your language. This is the formal setting or the dialect, how they are talking. The dialogue is the conversation between two or more characters. This is what is actually being said. This is the conversation. A monologue is when you have one person who is speaking, and then a soliloquy is when you have one person who is thinking out loud. Now, you have to have soliloquies in a drama because it's not like a novel where we can read what they're thinking. If you have actors and actresses performing on stage and they're just standing there, not saying a word, you can't hear their thoughts. So a monologue is when they are speaking. A soliloquy is when they are speaking their thoughts. You have costumes. This is going to be the clothing that's worn by the actor or actress on stage. The costume has to represent the characters. The props are the items that are used on stage to help them tell a story. So when I was in 8th grade, we performed the play Grease, and one of our props was for a scene in which there was a sleepover, and they were supposed to be eating Twinkies, so we had a box of Twinkies on stage. Another scene required the use of a car, and so we rolled out a car on stage. Props to help tell a story. Okay, so creative dramatics, things that we use to help us enhance the play. You have improvisation. Improvisation is when you make up or perform something without preparing it. So most of the time when you are watching a play, everything they say or do was written in the script, but sometimes you have to improvise. Sometimes you have to make up things on the spot. So improvisation. Pantomime means to communicate without speaking. This is when you only use your facial or body gestures. So think of a mime. Mimes never talk. They just pantomime everything. So they use their facial expressions and their body language to give their message. Mimicry means to copy or imitate something very closely. So think of like copycat. How many of you have had little brothers or sisters, or you've done this where you copycat somebody? Mimic them. You have role playing, and this means you take on the characteristics of someone or something else. So let's look at a short history of drama, how it started, where it came from. So drama actually began in ancient Greece, and it dates back to 543 BC. So this means 543 before Christ. Sorry. And it started as a choral performance of dancing and singing. So you had people who they danced and sang and honored the Greek god Dionysus, the god of wine. And the Greeks held their dramas in outdoor theaters called amphitheaters. And the largest amphitheater actually was able to seat 14,000 people. So you can see it here. This is where the stage area would be. And you can see the open seating here. This was a theater at Delphi. So we've got different types of Greek drama. You have a tragedy. This is when the character is confronted with a difficult moral choice. It usually ends in his or her death. It's incredibly tragic and sad. You have comedy. This is a humorous, entertaining performance, and these generally have a very happy ending. These are meant to make the audience feel good. So in Greek drama, the actors all wore masks to help the audience recognize the character that they were playing. Here are 3 masks. These are the Agamemnon mask. Here's the Theater of Dionysus. This was from 550 to 534 BC, and you can see located at the bottom of the Acropolis in Athens. So here are the actors and actresses, and here are the people in the amphitheater. This is the orchestra. You've got your chorus,